Look at this dude. Just spamming his tracking arrows at me. I don't know what it is about me that attracts this kind of behavior, but it's not uncommon for certain arena people to get very upset at me for not playing particularly well and not having a particularly good build. Maybe it's because they know that if they lose to me, it's even more pathetic. But this guy will never lose to me, right? Look at him. He's too meta. He's too meta. I get pretty fed up with him spamming his arrows at me here in a minute, though, so I'm just going to turn my back and let him have his way. I'm sure I'll run into him again. I hope those poopy pots really made him feel better, but hopefully it will have been worth it when all is said and done. You can't reaction dodge his Y-hander. I cast the wrong spell, should have been a catch flame. He spams his milady, his bleed milady. He takes too long to menu to his icon shield so that way he can have that passive HP regen. Sword dance. R2. But can he kill me? Can he kill me in melee combat? I just don't know what compels him. We had a little conversation. I tried to become friends with him because that's what I like to do when players are like this. I like to be the bigger person. But sometimes all that's left to do is stab them in the back and point down at their corpse. He had it coming. So this is supposed to be a build showcase video, surprisingly enough. I wanted to talk about Faith Build Combo Caster, which is a little bit different from your average Faith build. First, you can see that it has 40 Dexterity. More on that later. Stats are 60 Vigor, that is a must. No investment into Mind, because you can use the Flask of Cerulean Tears while in the arena, and this is an arena build. 27 Endurance was what I ended up with for a medium set of armor and a Zweihander. 19 Strength, also for the Zweihander. 40 Dexterity, that's for max cast speed. 40 Dexterity plus Radigan's Icon, that's max cast speed, baby. No investment into Intelligence, because why would you? And then 42 Faith, that gets us Black Flame Ritual, which can unlock some funny combos and some good zoning. Now you might add up all those stats and see that I have 10 extra stats into Dexterity that shouldn't be there. That's because that mask I'm wearing, the Curse Blade mask, gives 5 Dexterity, and Millicent's Prosthesis, the talisman that I use, gives 5 Dexterity. The talismans are kind of set in stone. You need Erdtree's Favor 2 because you just need Erdtree's Favor 2. You need Millicent's Prosthesis for the 5 extra dex, and you need Radigan's Icon for the 30 virtual Dexterity to hit max cast speed. Then you have one talisman slot that you can play with, and put whatever you want there. You can put Dagger Talisman, Shard of Alexander, Flock's Faithful Canvas, or whatever it's called. You can put... For me, I have Blue Feathered Branch Sword because it's kind of goated, not gonna lie. You'll see in this clip, I survived with like 1 hit of HP remaining after eating a shit ton of damage. So, Blue Feathered Branch Sword is kind of goated. Talismans aside, the build is about casting combos, and you saw just a second ago I did a little bit of Halberd into Catch Flame action. And we'll see it again here in a second after the end of this fight. But basically, the whole point of the build is I have a weapon, I have a spell, I'm going to mix the weapon with the spell to do combos. Sometimes it's true combos, sometimes it's pseudo combos, but it's not your average caster build. So here we're using Halberd and Catch Flame. We're going to hit him with the Halberd with a little bit of micro spacing. We're going to Catch Flame immediately after, and that's going to make it to where if he does anything other than roll, he eats a big Catch Flame. And then we're going to swing again as a mix-up, because he's expecting a second Catch Flame. He's watching my hand, he sees I don't do the second Catch Flame, so he thinks he's safe to run away. Another thing about Catch Flame is that if it comes out fast enough, it'll interrupt Hyper Armor. Like, there won't be any Hyper Armor to interrupt, really. It'll stun someone before they can get into Hyper Armor. Or at least that's what I think is happening here, because Remy usually swings out of hit stun. And Remy didn't roll, and Remy ate a big Catch Flame before they were able to swing. So, that's what I imagine happened. What I like about Catch Flame is that it's kind of like an off axe or an off dagger. Like, obviously off axe has a 2-hit true combo if you stun with the axe first. And off dagger doesn't break 109 poise, or I actually don't know what the poise breakpoint is for a dagger to not break, but the dagger can trick someone into eating a couple hits, and it's way faster than Catch Flame. But it serves that similar role in being able to, provide a fast get off me option alongside a larger, slower, longer weapon. So you want to keep them at range with your main weapon, and then when they get in close, or when you get them in close, you just catch flame. And it's pretty good. This build isn't terribly optimized except for casting combos. Doesn't deal great damage on the weapons, doesn't deal great damage on the spells, but it's able to use the weapons and the spells to get good damage combos. So it's a very cerebral play style. You don't win in 2 hits like you would with like a statted out build like what Remy's doing here. Remy's trying to kill me in 2 or 3 hits. I'm trying to kill Remy in 2 or 3 combos because I think that's more cool. You can see that 2 hits in, I'm already down to, a bee's dick of health. But I've already hit Remy once, and I've only taken a bee's dick of health from Remy. So, like, you have to really outplay your opponent to get any mileage out of this build. It is not optimized, it is not particularly meta, but it is particularly fun. Unfortunately, in this Remy fight, we do kill him in 3 hits because we hit him 1 time and then just land 2 backstabs, and that's something that you have to consider. Even on an unoptimized build, if you can backstab fish, you have access to game-changing amounts of damage. So, I definitely recommend that everyone learn to backstab fish. Here in this clip, you can see more synergy from the Catch Flame. What we're going to do is, while fighting our opponent, we're going to land a Catch Flame and then go for a roll catch. Just like that. We catch them with a Catch Flame, we do another Catch Flame to make sure that they panic roll, and then we do a delayed running attack. And the delayed running attack catches their roll after the second Catch Flame and they die. Very fun stuff. It's kind of the name of the game, roll catching your opponent. And this build excels at that. Now in this next clip, we're going to see how the build fares against a very meta build and a very meta player. This is B-Dot. We fight often. He usually wins. He usually washes me. He's much better than me. He's got the game on lock. He wasn't playing at his best today, but we're also playing unpredictably. We're getting him to roll a lot because he has to. He sees that halberd, he sees that Catch Flame, he knows he has to roll. And we're not hitting him for tons of damage, but we put enough pressure on him that he switches from his fist to Hal Axe, which is like one of the most meta setups you can possibly have. I made a video called the Haldag Mentality. It's about locking in and making sure you win. And that's what he's doing here, trying to do. But we get him with the Sword Dance. And that's something to consider, is that, you need to put Ashes of War that synergize with the play style of roll catching out of pseudo combos with spells and true combos with spells. Here's the last pseudo combo that we have to show off. I'm fighting a guy, and you see in the bottom left I have Flame of Frenzy equipped. So basically what I'm going to try and do is hit him, anticipate a roll, and then cast Flame of Frenzy for a roll catch to keep the fight going. It's not as good as a WoG roll catch, but it is pretty good and pretty cool. That's really all I have to say about the build. Try it out. Y'all have a good day. Be safe.